Hey guys, we wanted to finish affirmations part 4. This is 25 affirmations that can help you in life. Some are business, some are marriage, some are family, some are personal. We did a 3-part series on it. I believe that you need to get clear on who you want to be, what you want to do, what matters to you, and then you got to help create a system that reminds you to be that. It's easy to forget. It's easy to drift there's not an anchor, right? And so your affirmations can become an anchor. So let's go through it. Number 1, people don't appreciate, respect, or remember easy. A lot of times, we wish it was easier. The reason that we know people that have done great things in their life is because it wasn't easy. People respect people. The amount of energy, practice, discipline that goes into it is what makes people be great in life. That's why people seek them out. That's why there's more value there. When you look at gold, right, it's more valuable. Why? Because it's not on the surface. You have to dig. When you look at people that climb Mount Everest, why are those people so like, wow, what was that like? Because it's so difficult. Most people can't do it. So they want to know, what's the difference between you and me? How did you overcome that? Why did you do it? What drove you? What did it take? How much preparation? So people are fascinated by people that do difficult things. Next one, number 2. Find peace and happiness that the world can't take away. I'm at a dinner. This gentleman shares that piece of advice with me. Oftentimes, we look for a lot of peace, happiness in external things, and maybe your success, maybe your money, maybe your life. I've had a lot of things. I've lost a lot of things. Finding peace in things that the world can't take from you, that's where you need to place your peace and your happiness. Number 3, money will never fix it. There are things that money can fix, bills, all those kinds of things. Certain insecurities, fear, bad habits, those are things that take a lot of self-development, personal development. Money's not going to make you who you want to be. It can help you get things that you want, but you are the product. You got to work on yourself more than what you do, right? What you do for a living can change. What you do for a living, that's external, but who you are equals or equates to affects how you do the things that you do, the results that you get. So work on who you are. Number 4, imitation never made a legend. Be yourself, right? There's things that you could take from people that are great. Look at their good, look at their God-given talents, look at their abilities, look at their areas of strength, see how you can apply those to your life, but be yourself. Number 5, anger is an enemy of intimacy. Anytime that you're angry, it destroys a relationship. Figure out how you can resolve those issues faster with people. Number 6, grow, experience, and serve. Those are 3 points for me to remember. What is my purpose here? Like what really matters? 1, grow. I want to grow in everything that I do. I want to grow as a human being, as a dad, as a husband. I want to grow. Number 2, experience, right? I want to see what this world has. I want to experience everything that I can that's healthy, that's positive. Number 3, and even the negative parts. I know I don't want to experience them, but I'm going to experience them and they're going to shape me. So experience. And number 3, serve, meaning help people, serve people, lead people, give back, coach, encourage. Anything that you can do to make somebody's life better, do it. Number 7, be happy. Sometimes I'm very dialed in, focused, high level frustration. I got to remind myself to smile more, laugh more. Don't take yourself too serious. So be happy. Number 8, when life becomes more about other people, it becomes easier. If it's about you, it's going to be harder. That focus of, man, when you're thinking about life from it's all about you, it's easy to become overwhelmed, to become stressed out. When you're thinking about other people and the role that you can play in their life, how you can help other people, how other people, you can serve other people, it becomes an easier thing. Number 9, character is not made in crisis, it's just revealed. So constantly be working on who you are so that those stressful situations don't bring out a side of you that you don't like. That's really who you are all the time. Man, that brings out my anger. Well, then deal with your anger, right? Man, that affected my impatience, right? I wasn't kind. Well, then deal with that because that's really who you are. It just brought it out of you. Number 10, anger is a default emotion when you don't know how to deal with certain emotions, meaning take the time to process, why did this make me angry? What did that tap into? What did that trigger? Number 11, your insecurity and uncertainty will become your strength. If you work on areas that you have insecurity and uncertainty in, and you find that clarity and that personal development, that transformation is going to give you power. Number 12, you can't exercise the power of a king with the spirit of a slave. What are you a slave to? Comfort, success, money, fear, whatever you're a slave to, is overcoming you versus you overcoming it. Number 13, don't be the one who's always learning and never able to arrive at knowledge of the truth. 2 Timothy 3:7. There's a lot of people that are constantly learning but don't do anything. Their life never changes. It doesn't get better. Don't be that person. If you're going to take the time to read a book, make sure you apply what that book is teaching you so that you actually can change your life and use that information versus be a person that has a lot of information but doesn't use it. Number 14, effective leadership is rooted in love. When you love people, you will lead them better. It's proven in every single way. It's proven in my career. Number 15, Psalms 25, 4-5. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your path. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. I believe that there are things that we're aware of, and there's things that God created us. He gave us gifts and talents and certain preferences and certain ways of looking at the world and certain ways of dealing with things. And I ask God every single day to use me to accomplish His purpose in my life. I know His purpose is greater than my purpose for myself. Obviously, trusting God, believing that there's a God. And I want His will to be shown in my life. I want to identify His presence in my life. Number 16 for you guys. Answer me when I call to you, my righteous God. Give me relief from my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. Psalms 4:1. I don't care who you are and how bad and how tough you are. At some point, you're going to break. At some point, you're going to need a release. At some point, you're not in control. And trusting that higher power, that God has a plan for your life and that things are going to work out. Help me to deal with this stress. Help me take this stress from me. Take this pain from me, dear Lord. Help me to process this differently. Console me, dear Lord. You know, that's important. There are times in my life where I just can't deal with the situation. And it's not all the time, by the way. It's not like an every single day thing. There are people like that. God bless them. I think they need to become more mentally tough. Unfortunately, most don't. But there are people here that also understand, like, hey, I do have weakness in me and I need to deal with it. I need to get over this. I'm not talking about that. That's a different part. There are times when those that are giving everything all the time need that additional favor, and that's God. Number 17, your greatest confidence comes from overcoming adversity. There are so many things I failed in that then I succeeded, and I find confidence in my commitment to overcome the problem, to learn, to commit, to execute, to stay with it, and eventually be victorious. Number 18, why did God give you eyes to see, right? Why did God give you imagination? Why did God give you these talents so that you could do something with them? Number 19, do your part, let God do His, right? Do my very best and then trust that God's going to do the rest. Number 20, life is not a rehearsal. I remember we're walking down the street in New York. This guy on a bike is yelling it. Okay, I don't know if he was on something, not on something, but it was such a great point at that moment. I'm with my brother, went to the U.S. Open, and we're walking. He says, life is not a rehearsal. And for me, that was, sometimes you're getting ready to get ready. Sometimes you're living in your head. And it was like, man, this is not like something that you're living in your head. Like, this is real life. And today is the day that you have, and right now. And you really can do anything that's in your capacity if you're willing to try. And you have to live this life like it is real life. Because sometimes we get stuck thinking too much and not doing. Number 21, the tragedy of life is what dies inside of a man while he is alive. What dies inside of us? Hope, dreams, aspirations, fun. What dies inside of you that you're like, man, I feel that part of me fading. I don't want to let that fade. I gotta go after it. I gotta use that muscle. Number 22, in order to learn something new, something old has to die. So you want something, you want to become somebody. What needs to die so that you can become that person? Being willing to let go of what is for what can be is very difficult. Most won't do it. We're creatures of comfort. We all love our comfort. I love mine. But I want my goals and my dreams more than I want to be comfortable. So what has to die for you to live the next life that you want to live? Number 23, you become a man when you become responsible for others. I think the concept of that is that the more responsibility you have, the more it makes you wise and mature. The more that it makes you understand the necessity for being a leader, to understand how important it is to be consistent, to understand how most people will use their situations as a reason why not, and how few people never use that excuse. And so to be that person that everybody can depend on, that can lead everybody in those moments. Number 24, define yourself. I remember I had a conversation with a mentor and I said, hey, you're painting the picture this way. And he says, I can't define you, only you can. The world tried to define me and I didn't let them. And so it's so important for you to get clear on who you want to be and then be that person and be that person consistently. And then lastly, number 25, guys, to finish the series, you never find happiness at the end of selfishness. It's easy and it's short term to want to be selfish because it's human nature to think about yourself first, right? And you need to, in majority of the time. But there's a part of it where it's like, man, what do other people need too? That's maturity. That for me as a leader is a reminder that other people are you in their own life, meaning that what's important to them, what do they need? What do they need? How can you sacrifice a part of you for their blessing? And at the same time, my family is the most important thing to me. I think to as a business owner and a CEO, a lot of times it's like, man, you're a big deal. You're counted on a lot. Everybody expects everything from you. To a lot of people, if you're very successful or you're striving for success, you can be very important to a lot of people. But to your family, you're the most important person in the world. And I think sometimes we want that favor from other people instead of that from our family. Keeping that in check. Now, that doesn't mean that the majority of my time goes to family, because right now there's a lot that I do in running a business. So it's not equally divided in terms of time, but in terms of value, serving my family is number one. Serving God, serving my family, then serving others. That does require you to lose a little bit about yourself to give to other people. And through that, you become the next version of yourself that's even more fulfilled, if that's something that matters to you. Again, these are my affirmations. You don't have to agree with them. I'm just a believer that you should have your own. I hope you enjoyed the affirmation series, and I hope it inspired you to go create some affirmations that help you become the person you want to be. We'll see you on the next video, guys.